congratulations is due to Ohio because Ohio approves the first dual-use licenses for adult-use marijuana sales with 5 locations in Northeast Ohio, you guys. That's right. Ohio's Division of Cannabis Control has approved the first provisional licenses to sell adult-use marijuana. So far, 31 medical marijuana dispensaries have received regulators' pre-approval for dual-use adult use sales, including 5 located in Northeast Ohio, you guys. This article only mentions these 5 dispensaries. It does not mention all 31, but the 5 dispensaries in Northeast Ohio are the Forest Dispensary in Perkins Township near Sandusky, Cream Apothecaries in Elyria, Greenleaf Apothecaries in Akron, and the Green Goat Dispensary in Canton, and Italian Herbs Dispensary in Ashtabula. I'm not sure if I said that right. Ashtabula. Anyways, Ohio's Division of Cannabis Control has approved. Oh, I just said that. Retail sales for adult use marijuana will begin at Ohio's 127 existing marijuana dispensaries following the passage of Issue 2, the citizen-initiated statute that was approved by 57% of Ohio voters last November. The DCC began accepting dual-use license applications back on June 7th, and industry insiders had anticipated that adult-use sales would begin at the end of June, but that date appears to now be headed for sometime in early or mid-July, you guys. State regulators are making no promises, nor will the start date for adult use sales be the same for all medical dispensaries. A spokesperson for the Department of Commerce said in a statement to 3 News that, in quotes, "It's important to keep in mind that based on the criteria above, there will be no one singular day when sales begin. We will start issuing licenses out, and it will be up to the retailer based on staffing, stock, and other considerations as to which day they will begin sales." Maloof says his company is ready now, and in a quote says, "We've already hired up. We've brought on almost double the staff," he said, "and we need that inspection. We need to meet with the department, and that will be it." In addition to the dispensaries, the DCC has also approved a provisional dual-use processor license in O'Barion for a cultivator license and a cultivator license in Reneva Township and a testing lab in Akron and Streetsboro. So it sounds like Ohio is really trying to gear up for this whole thing of adult use sales happening in Ohio, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. Ohio, Dale. They're getting ready for adult use sales. Yeah. It is. I mean, what do you think about them not having an official start date for the dispensaries, and just basically it's kind of saying is like, hey, whenever we get your paperwork processed is when you're going to be able to commence adult use sales, and not giving an official start date?
Well, in California, we had an official start date of January 1st of 2018. Mm-hmm. That's when they started accepting the applications, and some of them were processed relatively quickly. They gave the temporary licenses out. But in my experience with my clients, once there's a start date, okay, now we still got to jump through the local hoops. We've got to get our final inspections, what we call certificate of occupancy, to actually be in the building, and the state has to do a final sign-off. Mm-hmm. So there are steps here also, and a lot of that depends on the alacrity of the local jurisdiction, how much they want to push this. And then you've got to have the product. And typically the lead up time, you get the product, you get the staff, and you're sitting there, twiddling your thumbs until you get the final documents you need to be in the building selling cannabis, and the state signed off on. So, I think that's pretty typical, but what they're going to run into is the typical problems every place else. That where they got one testing lab, or they just approve one more testing lab. There are bottlenecks in this process. and around the corner, some guy's selling weed out of the back of his car. So those are going to be battles we're going to fight.
Well, Dale, I wonder if the state of Ohio is setting themselves up for lawsuits by not having an official start date. Because I feel like operators, I just feel like if Ohio should just say, hey, you know what? As of July 1st, adult use sales begin. Whether or not dispensaries and the supply chain will be ready, but legal adult sales can commence as of then. And then that way, when they get these people's paperwork filed through or whatnot, then they can begin the adult use transactions or whatnot. I just feel like if they have people that are ready to go, and others that aren't or whatnot, there's going to be room for lawsuits to say, hey, the state of Ohio created an unfair playing field for all of the businesses by not having an official start date. Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, it might depend on what the laws in Ohio are with respect to businesses, especially these commercial businesses, and it's a difficult question because I don't know if the courts in the state of Ohio would allow people to have standing for certain things. In California, we said that the federal law doesn't matter. It might be that Ohio would acknowledge the federal illegality and not give people the right to say much of anything. These are a lot of the questions still up in the air. They call it standing. If these are licenses that are discretionary, whether you have any right to go in and sue for a discretionary license that wasn't given the green light, I don't know. I'd have to, consult with somebody who practices business law in Ohio. But it's real slippery around all this, Jason.
So it is possible
because we have. Well, you could sue. I mean, the joke is you can indict a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Is that you can sue people for anything. It doesn't mean it's going to survive in the courts.
I thought that joke was just for California, Dale.
Oh no. Oh no. Grand juries will, the prosecutor is the only person there telling them what the law is and what kind of lying sacks of shit and thieves you're dealing with, and that's all the grand jury hears. You can literally indict a ham sandwich, but typically a decent prosecutor won't take a ham sandwich before a grand jury, but,
Fair
things
enough.
happen a lot.
Fair enough. Elise, do you have any thoughts on this, on Ohio going adult use?
I do. I've got family in Ohio. Shout out to them. Excited for Ohio. I thought it was hilarious that they put it that way in the article, saying, we just want to be very clear there will not be a specific date that sales will start. So I felt like that was their way of protecting themselves and kind of putting out that they won't promise a date.
Interesting.
I like this idea of a rolling opening. It's kind of funny.
That's a good pun right there.
I think Ohio sounds like it's going to be a lot like Illinois. I think the licenses are pretty limited, and it's just going to be, your standard MSOs. And, I don't know what kind of craft scene they'll have there, but I think they allow for home grow. And, yeah, I'm excited to see what develops in Ohio. And I know I'll definitely be visiting again. Shout out to my family in Cleveland.
Oh, man, you're going to go and check out some of these adult use stores, Elise, while you're out there. You're going to buy some tenths while you're out there? Because they don't sell eighths out there.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is in a tenth.
In Illinois, they sell eighths.
No, they don't. Oh, well, in Illinois, yes, but Ohio, they sell tenths.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. It's like 2.7 grams in a jar. I'm not.
Wow.
I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Yeah. They do not sell eighths. Yeah. Apparently, too, I did a Man on the Streets video, which you can see on our channel in preparation for the debate tonight. And I actually spoke with a woman that was from Ohio, and she has been to the stores, and she also shared with me that they can't purchase pre-rolls in Ohio.
What? Wow.
That's what she said.
Wow.
It's interesting because I know Puerto Rico also you can't purchase pre-rolls, and that's because when they sell you flower, it is for the intended purpose of only to vaporize. They actually don't allow flower to be smoked in Puerto Rico. So I wonder if that is a similar situation that they deal with in Ohio.
Making stupid laws, it never ceases to amaze me how they pull these stupid laws and regulations out of their ass and think they're doing something. They're just pushing people to the black market. It's
Exactly.
amazing.
Fair enough. Fair.
Setting themselves up for failure already.
That's right. Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's setting them up for failure. That's what a lot of governments do quite often. And I mean, we've watched that with so many social equity programs in a number of states that they've done that same thing. But
well, the government's clearly not trying to make this work. I mean, they want to have a straight-faced argument they're doing things, but they're not. I mean, there's multiple other businesses, including alcohol businesses, that don't face the headwinds that this industry has to face. And clearly, there's still undercurrents of we don't want this to work, so we're going to drag our feet and make this more difficult than it needs to be, overregulate, overtax. And it's not just California. Every place seems to be tepid and taking little baby steps when realistically you walk around the corner and some guy will sell you whatever you want at a cheaper price. And it's like, well, you're just setting this whole thing up for failure.
Yep.
Hard to watch.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Elise.
I was going to say they'll just keep driving to Illinois or even Michigan,
You know what?
These other products.
You know what? She also this woman that I talked with yesterday from Ohio. She told me that she normally goes to Michigan to buy her product. So you're not wrong about that at all, Elise. But nonetheless, we're going to keep. Oh, actually, you know what? Steve Blessingham said an interesting thing in the chat. He says, if they can't sell pre-rolls, what do they do with all the weed that falls on the floor, Elise? Just saying.
Sell it to a guy standing around the corner. That's what they do.
That's right. I'd say they sweep it under the rug.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we're going to keep this train rolling. We're going to roll right into a commercial, and we're going to be right back.